Post Scriptum is a tactical first-person shooter set during the height of the Second World War. Much like live combat, the game demands competence and communication to survive and thrive. Whether you're here looking to learn the basics or just to sharpen your skills, you've come to the right place. What you're about to see is part 2 of a multi-part tutorial series covering the basics of every class in the game. Without further delay, welcome to a Moron's Guide. Attention on deck. Calling all brave soldiers. Are you looking for a greater way to contribute to your squad? If you want to heal as much damage as you deal, the medic class is for you. Limited to 2 per squad, the medic fulfills a desperately important role. Reviving and healing teammates will not only help shift the battle in your favor, it might actually lead to glorious victory. We're going to be breaking down this video into several different sections, starting off with the equipment that you're going to be carrying into battle as a medic, followed by the roles and responsibilities that medic has on the battlefield, and finally we're going to end with some tips and tricks to help make you more efficient in combat and make your playing experience more enjoyable while playing the medic class in Post Scriptum. Alright, let's get started by first reviewing the equipment that you're going to have at your disposal when entering the battlefield as a medic. German and Allied combat medics entered the battlefield with essentially the same loadout, which are a rifle with 7 to 12 magazines in reserve, so you're always ready to kill the enemy. A pistol sidearm for when your rifle just isn't enough. A knife for when you want to poke and prod your prey. 2 fragmentation hand grenades to send your opponent to an untimely explosive death. 2 white smoke grenades, which can be used for such things as concealing your movements on the battlefield, covering your retreat, or simply put, just to cover your ass. Alternatively, British and French soldiers are equipped with white phosphorus smoke grenades, which can be used for such things as burning the lungs of your opponent. We'll be covering this later. 15 medical field dressings for restoring a soldier to full health. 15 morphine syringes for those players who decided to die. Damn, that's a lot of morphine. An entrenching tool for building and demolishing emplacements, boxes, and forward operating bases, so we could all rebuild Europe together. A set of binoculars for viewing enemies in the distance, or when you're too scared to get up close. This is an incredibly important tool that can help you scout out enemies that you can report back to your squad leader. Last but not least, a canteen with 7 sips to help recharge your stamina, because after long engagements, you get tired and thirsty. Each faction arms their medic with a different primary and secondary weapon. Let's take a look at what these are. The Army of the United States of America armed their combat medics with the M1 Garand, and just so no one forgets, the rifle that won the war. As a secondary weapon, the American combat medic is armed with the M1911 pistol. The Germans sent their Sanitäters into battle with the Karabiner 98. As a secondary weapon, the German combat medic is armed with the P38 pistol, which was intended to overtake the costly Luger, while French combat medics rushed down to danger to save their wounded soldiers who fell while retreating, armed with the Moss 36. As a secondary weapon, the French medics are armed with, excuse my French, the Pistolet Automatique Modèle 1935A, while the British sent their combat medics into battle with the Lee Enfield No. 4. This was the main firearm used by the military forces of the British Empire and Commonwealth during the first half of the 20th century, while the standard secondary firearm for the British and Commonwealth forces was the Enfield No. 2 pistol. If you want extra practice with any of these weapons, make sure to check out the training range, where you can test out all firearms, vehicles, and mechanics of the game. Now that we've finished reviewing the equipment that the combat medic carries into battle, let's move on to roles and responsibility for the medic class. A medic's primary responsibility is healing the injured and reviving downed teammates. In order to achieve this, medics are equipped with the most effective field dressings in the game, returning players to their full health. Successful medics ensure that their patients are out of danger before applying first aid. Ask injured players to move behind, cover, or deploy smoke before approaching. In addition, combat medics are also equipped with 15 morphine syringes, which you can stick into your friends' sweet bodies. While playing the medic class, you should be continuously looking at your map, looking for a red icon that indicates a downed player. Upon approaching a down player, equip your morphine syringe. By holding left click, morphine will be administered into your teammate's sweet body, and they will miraculously come back to life. It's magic. Once that player has been magically brought back to life, a medic should look to heal them using their medical bandages, unless you are in immediate danger. If this is the case, make sure to let that player know to follow you to cover, for you can heal them later. An experienced medic can turn the tables on a game by reviving teammates on a capture zone and keeping players alive. However, equally as important as reviving is keeping yourself alive. A smart medic uses cover and remains in the back of his squad, daring a push. When playing the medic class, it is always important to remember that communication is key. Let your players know that you're on the way to heal them. A simple, "Hey, I'm coming, don't worry, don't give up, I'm on my way," can prevent a player from giving up and costing valuable tickets. Down players should always use local voice chat to alert nearby medics that they are in need of assistance, just like a medic should always use local chat to alert down players that they are on their way to help them. Remember, medics have up to 15 morphine syringes, while the other classes only have 1 morphine syringe. That's a lot of morphine, so there's no excuse why the medic shouldn't be running around, healing everyone they can.
Mr. Nixon, don't give up, I got you.
The most efficient way to revive and heal a down player looks something like this.
Yep.
Use local chat to tell the down player they're about to be revived.
Medics coming.
When they come to, immediately begin healing them while telling them to sip from their canteen.
As soon as you're up, drink water. I got your bandage.
It's actually incredibly important to remind down players to do this, because most of the time what happens is they will instinctively pull out their bandages and run away, making you want to punch them in the face.
Go.
When this is done correctly, you can have a wounded soldier back on his feet, ready to fight in the battle again in under 15 seconds.
Anytime.
Alright, now that we've finished covering the basic roles and responsibilities the medic has, let's move on to some tips and tricks that should help enhance your gameplay. There is a quick and easy way to see nearby injured and down teammates. Simply by opening your map, you may see players with special icons covering them. If you see a red or yellow blood drip icon, that indicates a player is injured and is in need of a bandage to heal his big boo-boo. The red and white heartbeat icon indicates a down player who is in need of immediate and medical assistance that can only be healed by your morphine syringe. Efficient medics are using their maps regularly and constantly checking them to see the surrounding players and see which players around them are wounded and are in need of medical attention. By consistently having your map open, it makes it easier for you to find those wounded players on the battlefield. Like many realistic shooters, Post Scriptum has a predictable bullet drop system. Because of this, players are able to zero in their rifles. In order to do this, hold Shift, X, and scroll with your middle mouse button. This can vary depending on your key bindings. One recommended tip is to always zero your rifle to 200 meters. When an enemy appears that is closer than 200 meters, simply aim down a little bit. Not all white smoke grenades are created equal. The white phosphorus grenade, used by the British and the French soldiers, can be a brilliant tool for concealment. This grenade explodes on impact, releasing an instant smoke cover, great for obstructing enemy visibility. However, the white phosphorus is not perfect. Its fumes are dangerous to consume for about 5 seconds after deployment. Therefore, remember to wait a few moments before running through the smoke. It's also important to remember so you don't throw down the poisonous smoke at friendlies and commit war crimes unintentionally. Because of its dangerous nature, white phosphorus can be used for attacking positions. However, it is important to note that when you are trying to heal a player, do not throw white phosphorus directly at that wounded player and try to revive him, for it will result in instant death for your teammate. When you find yourself in close proximity to the enemy, most weapons in the game allow you to fix a bayonet at the end of the barrel of your rifle. A weapon with a bayonet has a longer melee range than the rifle, allowing you to best a knife-wielding opponent, giving you those epic stabby moments. However, it does take a couple seconds to attach your bayonet, so remember to do this before entering a close quarters area. It is important to mention that stabbing your opponent also takes a bit of stamina, so be sure to take a sip before going hand to hand with your enemy. As you're running across the battlefield dodging bullets, you may encounter a moment when you're trying to rush to your patient and they just simply give up. Please do not ever do this. It is incredibly frustrating for the person playing as the medic and demotivates people from reviving others. Now that we've finished tips and tricks, let's wrap this whole thing up and jump into final thoughts.
You're doing the
With 10
thing.
different infantry classes to choose from, many players can become overwhelmed with the roles and responsibilities in Post Scriptum. For soldiers who are looking to keep their fellow troops alive, the medic class is a perfect choice. But if you're looking to learn the basics or just sharpen your skills with another class, be sure to check out other parts of our multi-part Post Scriptum tutorial, or check back at our channel at a later time, for we have more videos in the making. If you would like to join us for a game sometime, feel free to do so. Just jump into our Discord, the link is in the channel description. On behalf of myself and everyone involved in this project from the Moron Militia, we thank you for watching and hope to see you again soon.